Take Office 365 and SharePoint to the next level with SP Digital Workplace Solutions from SP Marketplace. I'm Darrell Trimble, CEO of SP Marketplace. We've been providing Office 365 business and workplace solutions since 2012. Our products were originally architected specifically for a multi-tenant environment like Office 365. Today, we have a fully integrated workplace solution suite and over 1,000 organizations around the world running our products. We are the leader in Office 365 workplace solutions. So let's talk a little bit about what our solutions do. In many organizations, there's a traditional organization has grown organically by department and often with their own policies, procedures, document storage, processes, the ways to get services, and systems. And often it ends up being in a siloed department type of organization. Now, for each department, that's fine. But the problem is if you're an employee and you need to get different things to do your job from those departments or services or documents or information, news, and so on, sometimes that can be hard because each department has different systems and often what the employee needs is all over the place. This is really what we call growth organically of an organization and organic IT infrastructure as a result. With the advent of Office 365 and SharePoint, Microsoft is really providing the opportunity to step back and do some things differently in how employees actually get what they need to do their job. And it's really taking advantage of Office 365 and SharePoint and using it as an organizational hub or a digital workplace. And the key thing here is to have a place with a common user experience, sign-on, and everything else that is well organized and consistent across all departments for employees to access the things they need to do their jobs. And we find that makes employees more productive and happy with their jobs. So let's talk a little bit about a digital workplace. A digital workplace really is the merging or integration of technology across many different devices, people, and collaboration, information, whether it be documents, media, or business intelligence, and process, all in one common user experience designed as a workspace that an employee can use. So one of the things that we're seeing is that Office 365 is really moving towards becoming a digital workplace platform beyond just doing email and calendars and task tracking, really bringing it fully through with a full set of services and tools built on Office 365 that users can use to go way beyond the old front office MS Office systems. However, with just tools and the platform, that's not enough. Many organizations have to end up building the capabilities for their operation to use this digital workplace. But we at SP Marketplace have provided a out-of-the-box set of solutions that is not only an intranet that many of you are familiar with, that often you start with, but a whole operational portal structure that your employees can intuitively use to not only collaborate, communicate, but also to get services and processes across the organization in a common user experience. And that really is, out of the box, what SP Digital Workplace Solutions delivers. Now, we've built these SharePoint site solutions using a best practices approach that we've learned from more than 1,000 implementations around the world. And we found that there is a structure that works very well, and that is to have an intranet homepage at the top, and that's sometimes where most organizations stop with an intranet. But that homepage really is the place that is the entry point for employees. It's also the point for communications and collaboration, and then navigating to what they need. There's also then a more operational level that can be provided, and that really is what we call employee self-service or Employee Central. This is a set of portals that employees can go to that they can get what they need easily without having to go department by department. So there is, first of all, a Help Central, a central help desk or service request desk that they can go into and get whatever they need from whatever department there may be. No more going into each separate help desk for different departments, or one department using a help desk, another one using email, another one using phone. A lot of the chaos of employees getting assistance and services from departments can be put into a consistent way of doing things in Help Central. There's also Doc Central, a place to put all of your organization documents that are used by employees. And these could be things like policies and procedures and things that they need access to as well. And they need to be able to find them easily, search and browse them, be able to easily find things right at that moment. Finally, there's also Process Central. This is where employees can access different applications and processes within the organization in one place. It also has built-in capabilities for things like time off requests, timesheets, expense reports, and other things, and a central approval capability. So managers only have to go to one place rather than sign on to 20 different systems to be able to go in and do approvals as well. All of this hooked in with Office 365 capabilities such as Outlook and tasks and calendars and so on. And then finally, the next level down is really for departments. And the department portals are a consistent design across all departments. And even though they have different content and different processes, it starts out with a consistent design. And each department is really made up of two areas. There is a staff portal within the department, such as HR, and the HR staff works in tracks employee records and documents and all those type of things within their staff portal. And then second, each department also has an employee portal. So if the employee does need to go to HR or IT or facilities with questions, with needing resources, needing the latest 365 reference card, need to see the latest interview techniques video and so on, they can go to this service portal that each department can provide and present things to the employees. So this is really what at the core of this solution. Now, the interesting thing too is it really needs to be interactive or integrated. A lot of the first generation intranet portals out there went into disuse because they couldn't keep content up and it became very stale. Well, that's really where a modern intranet structure needs to be active. So obviously at the intranet top level, you're going to have your news and announcements and events. You're going to have things like discussions. You could have blog articles or serve as a replacement for your company newsletter. You're going to have things like employee directories and then navigation and links that are personalized to the person coming in. Also, you need to be able to do things like filter and target news and announcements. Now, this is all great, and this is what a traditional intranet portal has. But one of the things that's important to keep the information up on that portal is you need to link the operational portals to it. So when HR has a news item that needs to be organization-wide, they can just check off a box and it'll publish it up to the intranet. Same with an announcement, say from IT about a system outage over the weekend. Or perhaps an event, the latest company kickoff or a sales meet can all come from actual operational departments and be published up to that intranet. So that really helps keep the information up to date, and the operations are actually doing it as opposed to a content manager running around looking for new news. So the other thing that we have is the employee self-service needs to also communicate with the departments. So when a help desk request is put in, it needs to route it to the correct department, such as IT or HR. When HR develops a new policy, once it's done and approved, they need to be able to just hit publish and it should go up into Doc Central into the right place. And when an employee fills out, say, a travel request in Process Central, it needs to be able to be routed to finance or administration where it can be acted upon there. So this is what we call an integrated portal structure that is not just communications and collaboration of a typical intranet page, but an operational portal structure. Additionally, not every company is set up in this simple structure. You may have divisions or groups or whatever. So the nice thing is it has to be something that you can move things around. You might have a shared services structure with HR, IT, and maybe finance shared among several divisions or groups, and you might have other departments underneath it. So it also needs to be flexible to support the organization structure. Now, another important thing that is really key here is the employee really needs to have this be part of Office 365, to be part of that common user experience across the platform. So they need to be able to launch these applications naturally from the app launcher like other applications in Office 365. If you're running an intranet or any of the portals, they need to have a look and feel that is the same as the rest of Office 365 components, because you're going to be going in and out of the portals and Office 365 services such as People or Power BI for the dashboards or Planner. And so it needs to be a unifying experience between SharePoint and Office 365 services. Now, we've built these on top of standard SharePoint Online, and as well it runs on SharePoint on-premise. Now, what we've done, though, is SharePoint has limitations, and we very much wanted to keep it native so that it is 100% customizable and you can change lists and libraries just as if you were working with a team site. But we also needed to add some capabilities to make it more powerful, adding new functions, making it more interconnected with different data sources, and make it so that you don't have to go in and be a SharePoint expert to do things like advanced notifications via email or different actions or more advanced forms with rules and conditions. And so what we did is we also have a set of tools underneath the covers that these were built with that you also get with the SP Workplace solutions. And these are built into it such that not only did we build our solutions using these tools, but you have full availability to use them to modify our applications as needed. Let's just describe a little bit more about what these are about, and then we'll get right into a live demonstration. So SP Workplace solutions out of the box are full-featured solutions. Solutions for running your HR operation, solutions for IT help desk and asset management, for facilities maintenance and work order tracking. So what they are is they are SharePoint application templates. We natively built them on Office 365 and SharePoint. Because they're native, they're 100% customizable by Power Business users using the standard SharePoint web interface. They also leverage Office 365 components like Skype for Business. And in fact, you can even take apps from the App Store, which is usually tools, utilities, or small business solutions, and use those on top of our applications and portals. And the nicest thing is, in the 5 years that we have been providing Office 365 and SharePoint Online solutions, is they have never been impacted by changes to Office 365, which happens about once a month. And that's really because we kept them native and have designed them at a level not impacted by change. The other thing is, we actually have designed these not one by one, but really with a best practice intranet structure, as you saw me talk a little bit about earlier. So it can become an organizational hub for employees that's active, and most importantly, a consistent design across departments. So when an employee goes into my IT versus my HR, it's very much set up in the same way, even though the content may be different. So it gives the employee the ability to have that digital workplace common user experience to get their services, resources, and information. So also, the nice thing about this is you'll still be using your back office systems, but there are things like help desks or other things that you might be able to actually replace those standalone systems and consolidate into the operational workplace here. And that's going to save you money. In fact, many cases it pays for the whole workplace just to do that. And that actually takes away from the complexity of administration and so on with multiple user IDs and permissions. And so overall, what our customers find and their employees find is it's very easy to use because it's just part of the Office 365. And they often deploy it with Office 365 or when they're expanding into a Phase 2 or Phase 3 Office 365 deployment. It runs right on top of your SharePoint Online on Office 365, any SharePoint level, and is very cost effective, as you'll see if you look at our pricing. So at this point, let's take a look at the SP Digital Workplace Suite in action in a demonstration. Hi, welcome to the demonstration. I'm in my email, and the SP Marketplace Digital Workplace Solutions are an integral part of Office 365. I'm going to actually go to the Intranet portal from the app launcher here. The Intranet portal serves as kind of the organizational hub for communications and collaboration in our organization. And we're a Western commercial solar company, and we're spread across 3 states. So this is really valuable for keeping all the news and information together for all of our people on the road or in regional offices. It allows us to do things like bring in blogs, which replaced our kind of monthly newsletter that went out that nobody read. Now people can interact with that, and we can actually do RSS feeds right to the front page. Announcements are brought in from different departments. So now, for instance, HR just put up a notice to enroll in our benefits. We can see different events pushed up from the different departments as well. News is also placed from the different departments. So here's another HR news item, which is really announcing a new employee. And the great thing about this is we can go and drill in on this and see information. Wow, we're expanding to Hawaii. That's awesome. Need to find out when that's happening. We can also have collaborative type things set up with rankings and comments on news items. It's also a kind of main point to get at whatever you need to do in your job. So the company actually has a set of promoted links, as they call them here. So I can actually go in and see what our latest tweets are on Twitter, our company websites, the time off calendar, for instance, or Doc Central, or even an org chart or industry news. Let's see what's happening in the solar industry today as I start my day. Looks like quite a bit of activity in the market here, but nothing that's going to affect me or my clients right away. I can also get to find anybody that I need to get in contact with because everything's integrated with Office 365. It's great that SP Marketplace has unified really SharePoint portals and Office 365 into one cohesive digital workplace. I can link over to the People page, and let's see, I do need to get in touch with Mike. And I can do that through Skype for Business. I can set up a meeting. I can even do an online meeting automatically using these capabilities in 365. I can also see any emails that he's sent me recently, or files or events that we're in, or appointments too. It's great being able to use this and get at anything I need right at my fingertips. There's also a personalized view of links. So this is the My Links. I actually set these up kind of like the old My Yahoo Finance or something like that. So one of the things I always do is take a look at the executive dashboard in Power BI. This is where any time during the day I can get a view of what's going across the organization. You know, where our revenue is at, opportunity counts, even our website traffic and leads coming in from any different marketing programs. I can look and see what opportunities there are out there as far as revenue being produced in the pipeline. I can get information from our accounts receivable or any of the accounting information, and even from HR, and see how many hires we've had, total employee headcount. All of this is brought in to Power BI, either from the SP Marketplace modules or bringing in from outside things like Google Analytics or accounting systems. I've got it set up so I can go right to my CRM territory in SP CRM, part of the sales portal from SP Marketplace, or see where projects are in the My Services area so I can get an update exactly what's going on in my accounts. It's also been great for communications. Like one of the things that we see used a lot with articles and comments and for collaboration is the company blog. This is so much better than the newsletter where kind of one person was trying to do articles. Now we can actually have different people put in articles. We can have comments and discussions over different things in the organization. It really drives collaboration to a new level. The other great thing is our administrators and even the people doing our content don't really need to be SharePoint experts. Everything is very easy to get at. If I need to add a news announcement, a new link, or anything like that, it's right here in the content administrator's dashboard. Even things like changing the look and feel can be done just through Style Designer. We can change the layout of the page, we can change the colors, the fonts, all without ever having to get into things like CSS or HTML. Best of all, it can be accessed anywhere, anytime, on any device. It's a totally responsive browser design, so you can work it across any devices without having to worry about managing apps or that type of thing. The great thing is it really goes beyond just a home page like our old intranet site. We have something called Employee Central. And this is really built just for employees so that we don't have to go wading through different department sites to get what we need. If we need to see a different policy or something like that, we can go to Document Central, where we can get at the most popular documents, or search for what we need across all the different departments in policies and procedures or forms or whatever we need. It's all right at our fingertips. One really cool thing is there's a central help desk. It's called Help Central. And rather than having to sign on to different help desks for different departments or chasing around on emails or phone calls, we can actually go in and put in different service requests for different departments in a common way. We can also keep track of the different requests we've put in and see whether they're being worked on or what status they're in. It's a great way to actually get services now in the organization in a nice, consistent way. And it really doesn't just stop at help or documents. There's a central time off calendar, employee suggestions. Also, we can actually go in and do rooms or resources reservations for meetings and that type of thing as well, too. And we can also go to Services Central, where we can get to any different type of business process or application that we need to do our job. So we could submit a leave request, a purchase request, we can link out to other systems, and also there's centralized approval so that managers can come into one central place. All the workflows are built behind the scenes so that there's approval processes built in for each different type of business process. It's everything we need in one place. But let's go back and take a look at a couple of other great things. And that is how the different departments like IT or HR can provide us services in an employee portal that is consistent across departments. It's so easy to work with the different service departments to get what we need. From the intranet, I can just go to the sites here where the different departments provide services. Let's go see what the HR portal looks like. HR's done a great job with their portal. Here I can come in and actually get to the different things I need. If I have a question, there's a knowledge base, there's a document center for specific HR things like how to conduct interview. I can also go to my payroll or take a look at the org charts. There's different announcements and news as well here. But if I need help, I can always go to the employee portal, which is my HR. From here, I can put in a HR request just like I could up in Employee Central. I don't have to go back up there to do that. I can get questions answered. I can update my employee information here as well and see other announcements, how-to guides, even videos from HR at any time. I can even see my certifications and when they need to be renewed and what benefit plans I'm on. It's really great to be able to come in here and get self-service, find my own answers in one place. The really great thing really is how we've broken down our department silos. So if I need help from IT, for instance, I just click here and you're going to see that it's very similar to the HR experience. So if I have a problem with, say, my computer, my laptop, my monitor, I can come into IT here, or I could do it through Help Central, of course, too. But I could first go in and look up and see if there's any knowledge base articles or FAQs I can look at to solve my own problem. If not, I can submit a case. I can see announcements. I can even talk live with the different IT staff through Skype for Business. It's really useful to be able to go and get what I need at any time from any of the departments in a consistent way to get services. But the interesting thing is, I also hear from the department teams that these portals have very powerful functional features to do a lot of automation for them. For instance, the HR team, they actually, because they have permissions, can get into the HR staff portal. That's kind of the other side of this portal design, where you have an employee portal and a staff portal in these modules such as SP IT support. And here, there's a full help desk, cross-referenced with assets and change requests, as well as tracking different information like documents, warranties, contracts with vendors, and so on, that are all part of the things that the IT staff needs to track. So let's take a look at the HR staff portal. Notice it looks very much like the IT staff portal in design, but it also interacts with the Office 365 services, such as Groups or Planner or Delve boards as well. So using Groups with Office 365, unified with these staff portals, the HR staff can take a look at conversations, calendars, they can share files, and even more. Things like even Planner, where they can go in and take a look at tasks and projects as well. All of this is integrated with the HR staff portal as part of the SP Marketplace solutions. And these are just not simple portals. They're actually full-on, feature-rich solutions. So for instance, in HR, they've got full employee document management, certifications, tracking benefits, full-on dashboard integrated with Power BI, plus the add-on applications for hiring, onboarding, reviews, and policy management. You can use SPHR, for instance, either to wrap your existing HR system to modernize it with portals, or you can actually, if you're replacing your HR system or starting anew, maybe going from manual processes to automation, use it as a full HR system. I can't imagine going back to the life of separate systems, separate sign-ons, doing everything differently by department silos. The SP Digital Workplace Solutions has really changed the way we've done business. So thanks for taking the time to look at the SP Digital Workplace Solutions from SP Marketplace, built on top of SharePoint and Office 365, and can run in both SharePoint on-premise and SharePoint online. It's your accelerated way to deliver a digital workplace to your organization. Learn more at spmarketplace.com. You can also see digital workplace webinars that talk about how you can take 365 to the next level and how you can move towards a digital workplace, both from a business justification and evolution perspective of your organization.